play of the game from way down.
Two, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bombstastic gonna find Rainer.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. We're in Season 8. I'm Aero and tonight I'm going to be joined by Lulu from the Nexus Cats.
Hello.
How you doing tonight?
It's Friday night and there's some HOTS to watch, so I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
You know what? It's the end of the week and it was a good week, so I can't complain. So tonight we're going to see a matchup between Better Than Bots and Would Tap That. So a couple of C West teams with Better Than Bots, I believe, being a new team. I don't recognize all of these names. Some of them I do. Crafty Trent. Hey, it's Hung Fu in chat. Welcome, Hung Fu. And we've got Would Tap That is a team that came up from Division D last season and finding themselves in C West now. But let's take a look at our maps here real quick. Oh, I didn't actually hit the button. Let's hit the button and then we'll take a look at our maps, shall we? Voila! Magic happens. So our bans here tonight, Better Than Bots banning out the Braxis Holdout and Infernal Shrines. And Would Tap That, gonna ban out the Sky Temple and Towers of Doom. And our first map tonight's gonna be Volskaya Foundry. That was picked by Would Tap That. So what do you think about Volskaya Foundry there, Lulu?
It's a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of the Protector and just the way that map plays in general.
Oh, and it looks like we've got our wonderful bug here. Can't hit start. If you have 1 second here. Can't be. So for those of you out there that are not familiar, if currently anyways, if you are placed or not placed, you can't have a mixture in your team, or you can't queue, whether it's for Storm League, whether it's for apparently unranked even, but also for only placed player is not in a party. There's this Grizzly. Well, this is interesting. It literally says everybody on the side of. Doesn't count. So Crafty Trent, Grizzly Pair, MRob must have 10 players. Yeah. There we go. All right, so it looks like we should be all set. Make sure that they're all ready. Yeah, my last typing test, Hung Fu, was like 104 words a minute, something like that. Okay, so both teams are ready, so we're gonna get our game on. And so, also, sorry about the typing. I realize that could be a little annoying to deal with.
How dare you type, Aero?
I know, right? All right, so Lulu, what heroes do you like on Volskaya Foundry?
The hero I like on every map is Lily. always the correct choice.
Sure. Could see Lily here. It could happen. I've heard about a bug, though. We'll see if... I don't know if it's actually true or not, but... And in all seriousness, it's such a minor bug that it's... I don't even know that it matters.
It's the bug.
I don't want to say because I don't want people to do it if it's... Yeah. You know.
So you're just going to leave us hanging.
I'm just going to leave you hanging. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Our first game ban is going to be Raynor, followed up by Amalganis. Now, so Mal'Ganis is an interesting hero, and I wonder how much how many teams focus on picking him because of the value that he could get out of that winged guard talent. If it was, something that even inadvertently they were able to accomplish the long duration physical armor. So I wonder if that being banned, that talent being banned, is actually going to have an effect on his ability to be played here, as we get ETC and Kael'thas as the next bans. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Yes. And they're still worried enough about it to ban him, so must still be okay.
And Johanna, a big pickup there. Not a big surprise. Johanna, I think, really was already super strong, especially with her upgrade to her reinforced talent, but became even stronger with the changes. The XP changes specifically, because she can be right up in front, picking up those globes, and not really worried about the rest of the jump.
Johanna doesn't care about anybody else. She's just doing her thing.
Exactly. So Megan and Aramrab gonna pick up the Li Ming and Stukov. You play a little bit of Stukov, don't you?
I have on occasion, yeah.
Oh, and a Samuro ban. Samuro's another hero that got a lot of value with the XP upgrade, because his... not upgrade, we'll call it the anomaly. Because his clones gather the XP globes. So he can soak all 3 lanes.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've seen Samuro show up in any of the 3+ seasons I've played in NGS. And then here it's banned.
Well, I think that he is gonna make a bit more of a resurgence into the meta here in NGS as people get used to him, but we're gonna see Varian and Rexar. So Varian very likely gonna be going taunt. I'm assuming Mongoose is reprising his role as a tank here for Would Tap That. Of course, Mongoose, a former Division B player. That's for a regen blue. And Blaze and Lunara. So these are some pretty solid heroes here. So you've got some pretty decent stun potential. Blow up coming out from Li Ming, and of course the dot damage from Lunara. And I've seen a lot of work put in from Lunara Li Ming combinations. As Lunara gets him low, and then Li Ming's just like, hey!
Yeah, and then Lunara can get the slows too, which just makes it easier for Li Ming.
Exactly. Let's see, so... Who am I missing? Mongoose. Derp. Pet Wolverine's there. Tlems? Is it Tlems? Looks like Tlems.
I was trying to figure that out too.
I think it's Tlems. Oh, I gotta do the poll. Gotta do it now.
Hey Aero, don't forget the Twitch poll.
Better than bots or Would Tap That. All right, let's go ahead and get that poll started. So you'll have 1.5 minutes to vote in that poll between which team do you think's gonna win. Is it gonna be Better Than Bots, or is it gonna be Would Tap That? When are they going to delete Rexar from the game? I don't know. I don't think he's on the top of the list of heroes for them to delete from the game. Just a guess.
Start with Valera for for deleting heroes. Just bye.
Oh, Hungfu calling out is the bug a Nubrak? You know what? I think you're right, Hungfu. The bug is a Nubrak.
A Numerak is literally a bug, yes.
Alrighty then. Well, let's get our teams introduced. Which team would you like to introduce, Lulu?
You know what? You can choose first. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I'll take care of better than bots over here. We've got Grizzly Pear on the Johanna, Evil Alto on Lunara, Aram Rob on the Stukov, Crafty Trent on Blaze, and Megan 420 on Li Ming.
And for Would Tap That, they've got Shadonis on Lucio, Mongoose on Varian, Pet Wolverine on Jaina, Colonel Pants on Rexar, and Slims on Sylvanas, because that's the name we're going with.
Exactly. It's probably something silly like Thames and the L is silent. I actually kind of like that idea.
I. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, it could be. It didn't. I don't know. Times could be times, but who knows? So we do have a little bit of variation in some talents here. The first one that I notice as Misha getting blocked down pretty heavily there is this Endurance Stim Pack giving the shield to Blaze. So, you know, with Blaze being in the off lane, it's literally the 4th level 1 talent I've seen on Blaze this week. So, there you go.
He's just very versatile, Aero.
A lot of different opportunities for the solo lane Blaze. But interestingly enough, we've got Rexar down in the bot soloing there. And Blaze by himself up in the top lane here. It looks like we're going a 1-3-1 on the side of Better Than Bots. And right now just a 4-1 with not a whole lot of rotation going on. Although Jaina did look like they were going to come up here. Varian's trying to get up here to catch this soak. Does look like he'll be able to catch that full wave as both teams now heading to their fortification camps to get some turrets going. And up in the top here, Mongoose versus Crafty Trent. That sounds like it should be like on a nature documentary or something. Like a Bear Grylls kind of thing. Like Bear Grylls, you got Crafty Trent versus the Mongoose in the top lane. Just hopefully he's not gonna do what Bear Grylls does on that show. I won't mention that.
We all know.
Nobody needs to talk about it though. It is T-Lems. T-Lems? Got it, okay. Says we're Cavalier says we're saying it correctly, so there you go. Johanna coming in as Would Tap That, gonna get in here and grab this support camp rather quickly. And that's gonna give him item advantage here for the first control point that's coming up here in just a few seconds. Now, interestingly enough, let's take a look at the XP here. So minion XP pretty similar. Lunara a little bit behind, actually pretty significantly behind the Rexar. It looks like Lunara actually lost a whole wave worth of XP as compared to Rexar. But they made up for it because Blaze up in the top lane had picked up some extra XP for them as well. So, gonna have to keep an eye on that, as with these XP globe changes, it's gonna be quite interesting to see how teams adapt, as both of them are getting their siege camp out. Would Tap That a little bit earlier, so Blaze can sit in the lane and clear that up. And that's gonna give Would Tap That the opportunity to get onto this control point and get things started. Any talents you see that are interesting to you that may be on this map or a little bit more value?
Oh boy, you think I know how a lot of these heroes work.
Just anything that sticks out. Well, we do have a bit of a fight up here in the top lane as Would Tap That, leaving Rexar there behind to, I should say Misha behind, to hold on to the point for a few moments there, as the rest of the team rotating up to clean up this lane, and looks like they're going to head back down. They're about 2/3 of the way completed here on the control point. Let's zoom out so we can watch all of this. And Misha is very low there. The bionic emitter used very far forward, mostly for Misha, it seems like. As Crafty Trent now all by himself in the middle of a whole lot of red health bars, but Lucio going to be the first to fall, followed by the Misha, and Grizzly Pear also very low here. Lucky that that turret didn't turn around and start shooting the Johanna. So ultimately, one and a... Is she a quarter or a half, or what is she? What is she? Deaths. She's a quarter. All right, so there you go. 1 1/4 to 0 out of that fight. And it looks like Misha not quite able to get onto that control point quickly enough to stall out and send it to overtime. So that's going to be the first protector of the game going over to Better Than Bots. And they're going to take it mid lane, get the rest of this wall down, and get some damage onto this structure here. It doesn't look like a whole lot, as already the protector at half health coming in the damage from Jaina, and that's actually a pretty big boost to Jaina too. Sitting at 4,400 on her level 1 quest. Not level 1 quest, her baseline trait quest. That all went into that protector pretty much. And there goes party mix getting completed for Lucio, so he's going to have a little bit more radius on that AoE healing that he does, or the movement speed, as you can see there. Reverse amp coming out, trying to slow everybody down. Big taunt going out onto Blaze, but it's Li Ming that's taking all the damage, and Li Ming sending back some missiles to provide a little bit of a counter damage there.
It's a little bit scary coming out of the protector into the middle of 5 people.
One of which is a Varian who can just taunt you and make you sit there, right? But the teams
have a good time.
Teams have a little bit different priority here, as Better Than Bots coming in to get the support camp this time, as the siege camp picked up by Would Tap That. But also we do see Rexar in the bot lane here. They've got a little bit of XP to soak, catch up because of these towers down in the mid lane. Also in the top lane there, so that's a fair bit to overcome, and that's going to give level 10 here in just a moment to Better Than Bots. It looks like Would Tap That getting their level 10s as well. Rotating up, Varian holding the bush, making sure that nobody else can come up from below here, as with the power of Sylvanas shutting down this wall, gonna at least get one of these towers. Looks like they'll get both of them. Took them a little bit. And Johanna's gonna walk right into the Varian there. Big Blessed Shield is gonna lock down 3, and that's a quick triple kill. Varian was in the right place, but it's almost as if Grizzly Pear knew exactly what was happening there and got a really good 3-man Blessed Shield there.
Plus the combustion with the disintegrate feels really good if you're Better Than Bots.
Yeah, locking the team down and keeping them all really close together with that follow-up condemn, and then being able to slow them and get that additional damage is huge. And that converts into a full fort kill in the top lane here, which is great for them. That's going to set them up really well for the first objective here. Or, I'm sorry, the second objective. So we did see a few heroics used there from Better Than Bots. We saw that Blessed Shield, the combustion, the disintegrate. We also had the leaping strike and the massive shove. On the side of Would Tap That, though, we've got the sound barrier, shield wall, water elemental, release the boars, unleash the boars, unleash the boars, and wailing arrow. So, you know, with this Varian, they've got potential to really lock somebody down and just blow somebody up. And as you can see here, the taunt going out on the Blaze, getting the damage, the water elemental coming out, but Shadonis is going to get caught by that pretty significant combustion. Sound barrier was used to help deter most of that damage. But we still have Li Ming in the mid lane, Lunara and Rexar in the bot lane. Level 13's coming up here for the Better Than Bots as well. So they do have a slight advantage, and they're going to turn that advantage into some control point time. Hi, True J, welcome. And it looks like Would Tap That going to continue in the middle. We did just see here the support camp It's always a little awkward watching that you just happen to be in the area when that support camp comes in, because it's not like others that kind of come up from the ground. It shoots down from above. And here we go. Level 13 is available here for Would Tap That, so they're going to come in, get in on this point here. We do hear the Boars going out there, Jet Propulsion coming in, big stun onto the back line as Lunara getting some damage in onto the Sylvanas. Turret put down, but Mongoose is able to use the Protect to avoid death from that rather large Arcane Orb, and Lucio gonna zoom everybody out and try to get him healed up here as well, as the second Protector now goes over to Better Than Bots. How do you feel about what's taken place so far, Lulu?
It's just been really hard for Would Tap That to get in when you've got Johanna and Blaze that are just so beefy on the point and able to live through everything that's been thrown at them so far.
Indeed, and even with a 5 versus 3, although 2 of them in the Protector, they're just not able to kill that Blaze. They had the taunt, they had the damage, but Blaze just able to survive everything.
Yeah, that's happened, I think, 2 or 3 times now.
Well, and keep in mind, too, I mean, Blaze has his own shield, but the Protector gives a shield of 950, so that's pretty significant as well. And the Protector was there to help, you know, provide the damage, because, you know, Blaze doesn't put out that much damage, really. He puts out a lot of little bits of damage, which helps him
He's
to
just
clear
there
minion
to
waves.
put on a show with the fire.
Fair enough. So half a level here to go until Better Than Bots is at 16. And it looks like they're being a little aggressive here, coming in onto this fortification camp. And they're able to get out, it looks like. Well, we see the Boars coming in, so we did get a weighted pustule coming out, did slow down the Jaina. And Jet Propulsion in is going to get a big stun onto 2. It looks like Colonel Pant's going to fall. Mongoose also getting very close here. And that's going to be with the resets, the Disintegrate coming out, and 2 kills. So far, 7-0 in favor of Better Than Bots. And I have to say that overall, they're definitely playing a little bit better than the elite AI that I've seen. And I like this play. They can be pretty aggressive about it. They've still got 10 seconds before the frontliners are back. So why not? You have a 16 advantage. And right now, I mean, Would Tap That's in a very defensive place here. They'll be able to get 16 before the next control point. And the next control point is oftentimes the most important one. And I don't know about you, but on this bottom control point, I generally prefer to be the aggressor. I find that when you're the defender, because of the conveyor belts, it puts you in a very narrow area that tends to lead to, I don't know, like a Jet Propulsion coming in or a Blessed Shield that's just locking everybody down. And we've seen that happen. So I think if I'm Would Tap That, I'd almost rather let them get onto it and then, you know, maybe get a flank in or something. And Varian trying to go in for that taunt on Lunara, but the massive shove gonna send him off into the distance. No kills yet. And we do see Rexar coming in here as well below, but Lucio going to fall, taking just massive damage. Big taunt going out onto Crafty Trent, and the Wailing Arrow coming in to get the kill. Misha falling, and Mongoose having to use that shield wall to try to survive, but is not able to do so there. But Would Tap That gets their first kill of the game, and it's against Blaze, a hero that they've struggled to get a kill on so far.
Yeah, they finally managed to get the Blaze, but they lost 2 in the process still.
And Misha. Feels bad.
That's really the one that
Call him
matters,
Peter.
yeah.
So we're going to get a rotation up here again, since Would Tap That has a couple dead. Better Than Bots is coming in here. Now, Lunar being able to get onto Rexar in the back is really helpful, although a little bit dangerous there. in that second leap because it threw her right at the wall. But being able to get onto Rexar, he doesn't have that much health. He has no real disengage or anything to protect himself other than his feigned death, of course. But here we go. Here's the control point. And Varian does have his banner of Ironforge. There it goes. So this is the armor banner. And important to note that at level 13, Varian took the charge, so he can do 4% and do it more often. Jaina in the backline there, fallen rather low, uses the ice block, the combustion coming out onto Mongoose and just melting him. But they do get the counter kill onto Johanna, and that's absolutely huge. But it might not matter because Jaina's falling up in the top there as well. The massive shove going out onto Rexar, shoving him into the wall, and it looks like they're going to try to get the Lunara. Misha helping out to get that kill. And Crafty Trent using that jet propulsion, dropping fire everywhere here. Now, I don't want to say I'm a prophet, but I feel like they did exactly what I said, right? They waited until Better Than Bots was on the point. They came down, they engaged, and look who won that fight. Barely.
Yeah,
but
barely.
They did it.
But they made it. Not barely. They have Misha.
Yeah.
Very funny, Aero.
Gotta have my dad puns. Not a dad, but I'm old enough to be most people's dad in NGS, all you young whippersnappers.
Fortunately, Better Than Bots just got 20, and Would Tap That is still very far away from that.
True, but at least for right now, they've got the man advantage at the control point. And it's still a fair bit of time before Lunar's going to get here, and Blaze as well. So I think this is open for Would Tap That. I don't think this is really... Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think this is something they go into that.
Back in time.
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually one of the big things about this bottom control point, too, is if you get a kill, it's pretty much done. You just get it, because it's longer than how long it takes to channel. So we've got... Oh, man. So, Intensifying Toxin and Unfair Advantage there for Lunara. So, additional 40 and then 60% damage with her Nature's Toxin is absolutely brutal. And we've already seen her doing a lot of damage against heroes in this with this dot damage. It's just going to get even worse now. And they've got the combustion, her own slows. Did they subdue? They did not subdue. But still, the punish slows. So there are a lot of ways to provide slows, and that's a lot of additional damage that Lunara is going to be able to do into this team. So, going to have to be really careful there. Did get the Wailing Arrow out, but Johanna just popping that Unstoppable, so not going to affect her. We do have these level 20s, so Crafty Trent on the Blaze going into the Incinerator Gauntlets, or Burn Notice rather, Incinerator Gauntlets earlier level. And so that's giving the slow and also additional damage. So once again, helping to provide additional damage on top of that for Lunara. Talrash's Elements going to give Li Ming a big burst of damage as well. And the Indestructible there for Johanna. Here comes the level 20s for Would Tap That, but already Misha getting shoved out. Combustion is going to hit onto Mongoose, and he's already under half and silenced and dead. So we do have level 20s here. So we got the Sound Barrier upgrade. Glory to the Alliance as well for Varian. So he's going to have that reduced cooldown on the banners. That's going to be really helpful. But it's also going to provide additional healing. The Winter Mute for Jaina. Upgrade to the boars there. Kill command. So getting that root and the upgraded Wailing Arrow, which is not actually commonly seen. So both teams sitting at level 20. And Would Tap That's still got all of their keeps up. They don't have any of their forts down, as they had to kind of play defensively with the Protector because of that level 20 advantage.
Yeah, they had to use the entirety of the Protector to just soak with the team so they could get caught up to 20.
13 kills to 4. But at this point, death timers are long enough that Any significant death here leads to structure damage. And it looks like right now here, would tap that. Gonna rotate up, deal with the siege camp coming up in the top lane. And because they can see them here, it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, they're coming down here in this bot lane. Better than bots are to get siege damage onto this wall. So that's gonna give them 3 lanes here with no keep walls. And that's exactly the advantage they want, because if they can get a couple of kills here, then that's game. Depending on who it is.
Right.
I'll check in here on some of these other talents. So looks like everybody's completed their quest talents, except for the level 4 here, Subwoofer for the Lucio. And better than bots rotating now up to the top lane. So just keeping these pushed up here. The root coming out from Rexar and Lucio dying in the time it took me to say that. But there's a silence as well as Misha sitting onto the Johanna, getting the pull and the condemn and subdue in on Tlems and Colonel Pants. And these two, with that rather massive combustion, gonna fall next. So just the Varian and Jaina left alive. And we're gonna get some push into 2 different lanes, interestingly enough here. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, so mid keep is gonna go down again with just Varian and Jaina. I mean, they can move in on the core at this point. And you see they're calling the ping for it, and Lunara was maybe thinking, you know what, I'll go deal with this other lane, but really no reason to do that. It is a widescreen stream, as Varian trying to pull him back here. But really just a quick stall as the core going down rather quickly here with all of this damage from Lunara and Li Ming. And that's going to be game number 1 going over to better than bots. Let's see. So let's see what our poll results were. So we had 5 votes, 60-40 in favor of would tap that. So there you go. Chat in this case did not call the right winner. What do you think about that, Lulu?
It's almost like the polls of popularity contest.
What?
Aero.
That's crazy talk. Are you suggesting that maybe Would Tap That has more fans in the audience than Better Than Bots? That's absurd. I want to see all of the people voting for their teams in this round. Let's get many, many votes. All of the best votes. Showcase these talents again for everybody so that they can see what went on. I still have faith, says Zoltos. Well, they can't win game number 1, but maybe game number 2 they can come back and win.
If they win hard enough in game number 2, maybe the time will change and they'll win game number 1 also.
You know? I mean, if Superman can do it, anybody can do it, right? Isn't that how that works? I think
Yeah, you just say it's an alternate timeline and that fixes
Oh,
everything.
yeah. All right, so Would Tap That says they want first pick. So that means it's going to be mapped over to Better Than Bots. Yeah, Better Than Bots did look really well coordinated there. Okay, let me write out the teams here. You know, Ol McNasty, there we go. Ol McNasty. Orbuild has made quite a resurgence since they adjusted the level 4 talent to give the cooldown reduction as well as the mana return. Like, ever since that got entered in, and I mean, they also adjusted the astral presence into the spell armor. I don't remember what it's called. You happen to remember what it's called?
No, I don't really mean.
All right, fair enough.
They don't let me do damage, Aero. What are you talking about?
Fair enough. Yeah, see, Zoltos has got it. Just fly around the world in the opposite direction. That's time travel.
Can't argue with that logic. It's pretty sound.
So sometimes when I'm writing down the heroes that people picked, because I usually only write down the heroes I can generally remember, you know, who played what. Sometimes I'll just start writing down the player names instead of the hero names, and then I'll be like, all right, and so Mongoose played Mongoose. I don't think that's right. Maybe it's right.
He's his own hero,
Ether Walker,
Aero.
that's right. All right, so let's see if we can't get connected with our captain over here. I don't remember. I want to say it was. Is it Crafty Trent? No,
Either is or
I think
it
so.
isn't.
Oh, thanks. We need a minute, they say. All right. Well, you know what? That's fine.
It's probably Crafty Trent.
It definitely is. All right. So we're going to go ahead. Got it. Okay. So it sounds like one of the players disconnected. So we're going to go ahead and just do a quick commercial break. And we'll come back in just a moment.
When I was young, I lived a life of recklessness. In my selfishness, I inflicted pain and hurt those I cared for. I have learned many lessons in my struggles with doubt and fear. Balance and harmony are not easily attained. They must be fought for! But on my journey, I have learned another lesson. You do not have to fight alone.
Let's do this!
All right, and we're back. We're going to be going to Battlefield of Eternity. Invite to game and invite you. There we go, and we'll make me a referee just because that way I can talk to people. Not
It's
black
very
cards,
important to be able to talk to people.
Yes. All right, so let's take a quick peek at the ban history here, the maps and all that good stuff. So we start off with bans on Braxis Holdout and Infernal Shrines. Those are the Better Than Bots bans. And then for Would Tap That, they banned out Sky Temple and Towers of Doom. So game number 1 was picked by Would Tap That. That was the Volskaya Foundry. It was won by Better Than Bots. Game number 2 here, picked by Better Than Bots, Battlefield of Eternity. And we're going to get this going in just a moment. All right, we got all 5 players from Team A. And the rest of Team B are coming in here as well. We got some pranksters up in the NGS channel up in here. All right, one more person and then we can get this show on the road. All right, looks like we've got everybody. The captains are set. Let's get the confirmation that we are good to go here. And then hopefully we can get this show on the road. I have faith, says Lunar Mistress. I'm not sure who the faith is in. Is it in Would Tap That? Is it in Better Than Bots? Who knows?
If only she could.
Indeed. She might be able to, but she's gonna have to speak through time. All right, looks like we got our teams ready. It's all about faith. Sometimes I just like reading the chat out loud. I don't know why.
Check the entertaining. That's why.
That is true. Chat can be entertaining. And for whoever it was that asked earlier about the music, this music is the draft music from HGC.
The very quick Stukov ban.
Yeah, no doubt. Sometimes you just gotta ban out the pimp hand.
Tentacle arm too strong.
All right, and we're on BOE. There we go. All set and ready to go. Cause we're special, says Zoltan. That's true. That's why I like to read chat, because you're special. And there's gonna be the Blaze ban. So, you know, I have to say that given how tanky that Blaze was, I don't blame them in the least for banning out that Blaze.
Oh yeah, he was very tanky, and also the combustions were just causing so many issues for Would Tap That.
Yeah, for sure. ETC and Anduin gonna be the bans, and you know, I mean, I know that Mongoose plays a mean ETC, but he also plays a pretty mean Johanna, so that's gonna give Johanna over to Mongoose. So that's a strong pickup for them. And it's interesting because Johanna has become, I think, probably one of the most first-picked heroes at this point.
Yeah,
Like,
she's in like every game, either picked or banned almost.
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if, like, when they do Stats of the Storm, if they pulled up a stat and said, you know, who was the most first-picked hero, and it was Johanna. Let's see, did we change any people? I hope not. But it's gonna be Artanis and Zul'jin. So a couple of heroes that dislike the blind. What is art in your background? So, yeah, we got a second here. So, these are these three that I'm pointing out are BlizzCon key art, basically canvases. That is the Orphea poster from last year at BlizzCon, and then this is a well, that's Iron Man's gauntlet from seeing Endgame. So there you go. Also, Li Ming and Cassia over here for the side of Would Tap That. So pretty good, solid race. I mean, Cassia is almost deceptive in how much damage she can put out onto the Immortal and also heroes with charge strikes.
Also, Li Ming and Cassia had really good skin synergy, both in green. Just want to point that
Oh,
out.
you know
That's
what?
a very
Good
important
point.
factor.
Good point. See, I just did it again. I was going to Mongoose, trying to type in the player. Totally typed in Mongoose. I was like, why does Mongoose not show up as a hero?
2 games in a row.
So Varian going to be banned out, along with the Mal'Ganis. Oh, there you go. See?
It happened. Kung Fu, I hope you're still here. That's our girl.
So interesting. I don't know that Shadonis was specifically planning to go into Lili, but you know what? Given that they had an Artanis and a Zul'jin, yeah, it could have been. So good pickup on them, on their part.
Yeah, that would have been the triple blinds for Would Tap That.
So we're gonna get Yrel and Oriole. What do you think of the Oriole pickup there for that?
I don't know. That's who's her big battery in this?
Probably Cassia, I would think.
Yeah, I guess so. Ariole's a lot of fun though, and there's kind of some walls around the Immortal that you can punch someone back into.
So the Samuro pick is really interesting.
Maybe this is why he got banned in the last game.
Probably. Probably. All right, well, you guys have seen the drafts here. Who do you think's going to win game number 2? So there's your poll. You can start that. Actually, you probably have access to the poll, but you'll hear about it in 30 seconds. My Twitch screen is black, but I hear audio. Anyone know how to fix on mobile? So, yeah, I mean, it might be... I've seen a couple times that people have had that issue. I've had that issue myself. Try using the app. Try using just a browser window. It seems to be something to do with encoding, I think. And it's not something that I control. It's something that Twitch controls. So it's basically saying, you know, that when it sends out the data that I guess that my stream is just not high enough a priority. I'm sorry. Gotta have more people active. I think you have to be a partner to get that level of encoding to guarantee that it's never in that screwed up, quote unquote screwed up state. Yeah, it seems to happen with other Heroes of the Storm channels from time to time, because like I've said, I've had that issue personally. All right, so here we go. You know what? We'll stick with tradition. I'll go ahead and invite our left team, Better Than Bots, here. And we got Crafty Trent on the Zul'jin, Aramrob on the Garrosh, Grizzly Pear going to be playing that Artanis, Megan 420 on the Lili, and Samuro is going to be played by Evil Alto.
For Would Tap That, they've got Mongoose on Johanna, not Mongoose. Shadonis on Ariel, Pet Wolverine on Li Ming, Colonel Pants on the Yrel, and Tlims on the Cassia. T-Lims. Tlims.
Thames. I'm still gonna go with Thames. I like Thames. It just sounds... Wow, Would Tap That getting a lot of votes here, coming in at 71%. A lot of chat interested in seeing Would Tap That bring this into a 3-game series.
They're just having too much fun, Aero. They don't want it to end.
Indeed. Well, Garrosh looking deep here for that throw. It looks like not quite able to get it. until he finds the Johanna. And Johanna is going to go ahead and pop that Iron Skin, get out. And keep in mind, to hold your ground was picked up there by Mongoose. So having that extra shield and the cooldown reduction going to be rather helpful to deal with the Garrosh there. Couple of talents that I see here that I think are a little bit different. I don't often see Light of Karabor. Ever since she came out, it's something that I've liked, but I don't know that it's the right, like the most, I don't want to say the most common pick. But I haven't seen a lot of Urel lately, so I couldn't even tell you. So I'm interested to see how she performs, especially into this comp with Samuro on BOE. Also the power hungry, so Li Ming's going to be looking to gather those globes, so, you know, maybe from time to time even we'll dip out, but Garrosh is going to throw Cassia behind. The Ariel's going to get that detainment strike, though, to at least protect from the additional Garrosh threat. But with this rotation down, we've got 4 versus 3 in the bot lane here, and that's going to give the bot camp over here to would tap that. So each side will pick up a siege camp, get that going into the lane. What else do we have? We do have that charge strikes.
Ariel with the righteous assault.
And you know what?
I don't know. I'm not good with talents, so I'm not going to judge anybody. That's not what I have been playing her with. So that's
true. But you probably haven't been playing her with a Samuro. Or against a Samuro, I guess.
Okay, that's fair.
So, yeah, so that's going to give her, you know, the ability to hit her sweeping strike pretty frequently with having the extra Samuro clones.
Yeah, and if they're feeling like they want some more blinds for the comp they're going up against, Ariel does get a blind later. Can get a blind later on with her talents.
Right, yeah, I think 13?
Yes.
And amateur opponent was picked up here by Grizzly Pears, so Artanis going right into that race build. And we do have the Bone Slicer here for Zul'jin, but Pet Wolverine's going to be thrown in. The swap coming in as well puts Artanis deep into the back, but Colonel Pants is out there as well. But it's the blue side health bars fallen extremely low, and Li Ming looking for some resets, gets the orb kill onto the Artanis, making another one on the Lily, and this time it's Garrosh going down. Would tap that, coming out with 3 kills back to back to back at the beginning of this game.
Well, that's a good way to shake off the loss of game 1. Just kill 3 people first time you see them.
Certainly helps. And that's going to give them, not quite, apparently. No, yeah, they're just a slight bit ahead. It's always so confusing with the looking at it from above.
Yes, barely.
By like
got a
200.
lot of race for better than bots.
And once again, these blue health bars falling here. Better than bots getting low as Samuro getting locked down there. I think he even got stunned by the Immortal, so he's having to pull back. And a big Li Ming orb right into the face of Garrosh. Garrosh saying, okay, I'm going to go back and tap. And our red team saying, yeah, you know what? I would tap that. Oh, yeah, that would hurt. That hurt. The swap looking for, I think, the Johanna there, but Urel going to go ahead and jump in using that Avenging Wrath, and is going to be the sacrifice that ultimately allows Would Tap that to get this Immortal. Johanna popping that Iron Skin just in time to prevent the swap, but ultimately going back in, realizing that Mongoose is not going to get out of that dangerous place, saying, you know what, that's fine. I'll go ahead and sacrifice myself now, and I'll be back on the map here soon enough. Keep the rest of the team safe as well. Lunar Mistress Faith not misplaced. It's still early. Oh, the big swap into the throw onto Shadonas there. Oriole taking some damage from the team, and it looks like she will go down. And now Thames also very close, but has a little bit of that physical armor as well. So, you know, Cassia, really strong pick against this team because of that physical armor, but also because she does provide those blinds. let's take a look at this minion XP. So right now, better than bots, pretty far ahead on that. 7,900 to 6,500. That's basically what, 2.5 waves. And this is a little aggressive, but it's gonna even out pretty quickly as our fourth player here for Would Tap That showing up. Both teams falling very low as Cassia is gonna fall to the Zul'jin just barely, but make it a kill onto Artanis. Johanna actually going down. I thought for sure that was a Garrosh. He had all of 9 health. And the camp is picked up by the Oriole with that detainment strike here as Li Ming chasing after the Li Li. But Lily's got, she's quick on her feet. She's able to dodge around a whole lot of things here. Siege Camp was picked up in the top lane there while that was going on by Yrel versus the Samuro. Now, interestingly enough, so Divine Steed picked up, gifted the Naru, so getting some extra healing onto the team, also some mobility for the Yrel. I don't want to say I'm surprised, because I'm not surprised, but I'm interested to hear if it would be better to have taken the Avenging Wrath cooldown because of the Samuro. I don't play enough Yrel or Samuro to know. But having that ability reduced down to 1 second seems like it would have been a pretty big positive for them, especially with the throws. But there's Garrosh throwing Johanna into the back here, and Artanis getting the swap, but didn't actually go anywhere here. And Artanis in the fend is going to get taken out, and Li Ming with that reset value here, getting a lot of damage onto the Garrosh. And Colonel Pan stomping on the face of Garrosh, saying, "You're not leaving just yet." So quick 2-for-0 kill there on the side of Would Tap That. And Heroics came online just before all of that. So we do have the Blessed Shield there for Johanna, Crystal Aegis for the Oriole. Wave of First for Li Ming, Ardent Defender for Yrel, and the Ball Lightning. I always screw that name up. Ball Lightning for Cassia. And on the other side here, well, we'll talk about those in a second, as we've got a fight. Swap going out onto the Johanna, so right into the back line, where kind of, honestly, Johanna wants to be right now. She pulls everybody in and is helping to lock these heroes down and slow everybody, and everybody's getting low. Yrel's gonna fall, but so's Artanis. Follow-up kill onto the Garrosh, follow-up kill onto the Zul'jin, and now Lily finally able to get those cups out to keep herself and Samuro alive. Would Tap That showing some serious signs of life here. Getting over here, getting the Shaman Camp, the aggressive Shaman Camp, as Samuro working on soaking those lanes. And Pet Wolverine on the Li Ming gonna head back there, running out of mana. But these ultimates on the other side, so we did see some of those. We got the Warlord's Challenge for Garrosh and Taz Dingo for Zul'jin, Jug of 1,000 Cups for Lili, and the Purifier Beam for Artanis. But I think the most interesting ultimate we've got here is the Blade Storm. So given that unstoppable to Samuro, but it's not going to be Illusion Master. I think Illusion Master could have gotten a lot of value, but it's also very difficult to play, and I don't know how much value specifically it gets on a map like this.
Is Blade Storm just for the Immortal race?
I don't know. I think, well, either way, Ball Lightning's coming out, doing some damage into the backline there, and there goes the Purifier Beam onto the Oriole, keeping her locked down here, running, or not locked down, but running around, and the Taz Dingo was used. Aram Rob throwing Zul'jin to safety, but not able to avoid his own death at the hands of Li Ming. And Darabo, you know, Charge Strikes is, I have seen it so many times, and it's so hard to identify if you're not used to looking for it, and she just gets so much value out of that. And does that... Oh, no, so she didn't take War Traveler, she took Surge of Light, so that additional damage, kind of like Genji's. Oh, and that swap coming from Artanis, almost hitting Shadonis. But Oriel's the, what, angel of hope, right? So she was like, nah, I'm gonna hope myself right on out of this.
She did go for the blind 13 also.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All of the damage on their team is physical auto attack damage. Oh, the missed detainment strike there. The swap onto Colonel Pants probably put him into a worse place, I think. And ultimately, that's a quick kill here. And they're pushing in the bot lane, though. So both teams pushing in the opposite lanes. And would tap that now, rotating down to see if they can't defend this quickly enough to save the entire fort. But this siege camp is still up here in the top lane, so we're going to get a rotation out of Samuro to clean that up. Mark Zombie coming in saying Lulu #1.
Mark Zombie of twitch.tv/Mark Zombie.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's another Mark Zombie.
Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. Sorry, other Mark. Imposter Mark.
It's the secondary Mark.
Mark Zombie with a K.
There you go. All right, here we go. So Urel going in hard, but big taunt coming into the front line. There's the Ardent Defender early. Crystal Aegis used onto the Johanna, but they get the kill rather quickly onto the Zul'jin. Has Taz Dingo, but didn't have a chance to pop it there. And the Purified Beam chasing down the Johanna. I don't know, Lulu. Would tap that is making this pretty clean, and I think they want to take this to a game 3.
Yeah, they're having a really strong showing this game.
All right, the Immortals going top and bottom. And we see the retreat pings called out there saying, get out of there. And Artana saying, nah, I got this. Don't worry.
One versus the world, don't worry, boys.
But Artanis did not, in fact, have this, but does get away with their life. But it's going to give the Immortal now over to Would tap that.
Yeah, it was kind of the last chance for Better Than Bots to take a fight pre-16.
Immortals coming up in the top lane. They do have a Shaman camp up here. Taz Dingo is popped along with the Jug of 1,000 Cups. So that's 3 ultimates used there. A couple of them coming out. Blessed Shield was not used. That was Crystal Aegis, rather. And Samuro's going to get taken out. The Ball Lightning sticking on the Garrosh as he was chasing after Cassia. And Li Ming's just popping off, saying, hey, if you're going to chase after my friend, I'm taking you out first. Good knockback there from the Urel, shoving Zul'jin into the wall. And I think it may very well be, as this Immortal's still sitting at about half health. I'm sorry, half shielding.
Half shield.
Full health. Yeah. And we see the GGs coming out in chat. They recognize this looks like the end of game number 2 here. And this is going over to Would Tap That, the winner of the poll by 71%. Not by, at 71%. All right, let's see if any casters. Showcase those talents for you there. Give the Would Tap That team their point. And just real quick, I'm going to let the other teams know that we're a little bit delayed, so... let the teams know. Night Night in the chat too. So many familiar faces. And here we go. So, what do we have left for maps? Let's see here. So, I think Altrack's not banned, so Altrack is an option. We saw BOE. Braxis is banned. Cursed Hollow is available. So Altrack and Cursed. Dragonshire is available. Infernal was banned. I think Sky Temple was banned. Yep.
Yeah.
Could see Tomb of the Spider Queen. I think that was the second most common. Infernal Shrines was the most common. So those are the maps that we could still see. My goodness. All right, they want to go to Dragonshire, it sounds like. So let's get this set up. And get us down at the bottom lane. Okay. Yep, that's right. All right, so there we go. So we're going to Dragonshire. This is a little bit different of a map than the last one. If anything, it's kind of similar to the first one because they have the objectives and control points and stuff, but definitely a different scenario. What do you think of Dragonshire? Do you like Dragonshire?
I am not a fan of it personally.
Mm-hmm.
It's very love it or hate it on the Nexus Cats. And I hate it. But I also like Sky Temple, and everyone else on my team thinks it's trash, so, you know.
Well, I have to say that I like Sky Temple, and I will pick it any day of the week for anybody that is out there interested in scouting Regen Phoenix. I'm doing it again, writing the players' names. God dang it.
Crazy how Mongoose played Mongoose all 3 games.
Right? What kind of craziness is this? Cassia, there we go. All right, looks like we've got most of our people here. Swap team, swap team. And that should be all of them. Okay. We have another cast after this coming up. Well, I do. You're not required to stay with me for that.
Wow, are you kicking me out?
It's not what I said. But that wasn't our negotiated agreement.
This is true.
1, 2, 3, 4. Just need one more player on the side of Would Tap That. Special Kid Miles coming in with the NGS. What is that? Leon IRL. All right. I don't know what it is, but
He looks really happy
works.
to be here.
He does look happy to be here. Mark Zombie with the Craigasm. Oh man, back and indeed. So there we're missing Shadonis. Let's get Shadonis in here. And set captain. All right. We have our captains, we have our players. And we have a game number 3. Let's take a look at those maps here. Better Than Bots at the beginning here banned out that Braxis holdout and Infernal Shrines. We mentioned that in the chat just a moment ago. Would Tap That banned out Sky Temple and Towers of Doom. Our first map was picked by Would Tap That and won by Better Than Bots. Our second game, and that was Volsky Founder, by the way. Our second game was picked by Better Than Bots on Battlefield of Eternity and won by Would Tap That. So it would seem that so far, first pick seems to be the way to go.
First pick both games was Johanna.
Coincidence?
Maybe.
I don't know. Clearly Johanna rank 1 character in all of NGS. All right, so let's get this set up. So we're now going to Dragonshire. Special Kid Miles saying, I have barely played him, has never played it. We're talking about Alarak? Is that what we're... Chat, E-build or Q-build Alarak? I don't know. E-build seems like it's gone down in favor a little bit, but I don't know.
What's the one that gives
But I
you
would say
the
0.
class? I don't know what his buttons are.
So E-build would be his...
Cody thing?
E-build would be his lightning surge. So that's the level 1, and then obviously you can take it at level 4 too.
See,
lightning
you're using
surge-
the actual name.
The
I need
lightning
you
surge
to
is the
describe.
lightning. It's the lightning bolt line thing.
Okay, so it's not the coney pointy thing that comes out.
No,
It is.
that's his Discord strike.
Ah, okay, all right.
I'm shaking my head at you. Oh, and the URL ban. I like that URL ban. So you know, I mentioned about talents and things like that I was like surprised by.
Johanna ban. We don't get well, maybe we do find out if she was the X Factor.
Indeed. But I think the URL ban is pretty huge for them. But that means that Blaze is back on the table. Anduin's on the table. So's
That
Mal'Ganis.
that they banned the first picks or first ban game 1.
And there's that Anduin that's been banned as the Banduin as well.
A Anduin.
All right, and it's gonna be Li Ming coming out here, trying to catch up to get these put in. And there's that Blaze mentioned. So
He was a big beefy boy in the first game.
there we go. Okay. No Aero. What are you saying no about? What did I do?
It's probably because you were bullying me.
What did I bully you
Works
about?
is a nice person.
I didn't bully you.
Judging me for not knowing the name of Alarak's abilities.
I didn't judge you. I was very pleasant and nice about helping you to identify which abilities we were talking about.
While shaking your head.
I did shake my head. That is true. That is an accurate representation of what took place. Our final ban here coming out. Oh, it's not going to be Varian. Like they're targeting the front line. Oh, Arthas. Okay, all right. So
That's new.
it is, and it's also. I don't know why.
I don't know these teams' histories well enough to know that's some sort of secret target ban.
I mean, Mongoose can play Arthas for sure, but it seems like an awkward ban unless they're looking for something like a Greymane, maybe?
Corix is very unhappy with you talking well of the E-build.
Oh, I wasn't saying that it was the right build. I was just saying that I think that people still take it sometimes. It's gonna be Raynor, so no questions answered on the Arthas. What?
I was not prepared for that.
I'm just preparing chat, giving them the question mark so that they know something's coming. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Oh, I gotta put up that poll. Gotta put up that poll.
Yeah, this is 2 games in a row that I think, for me personally, are NGS first to see. I know what happens out and around, but the Nexus Cats have not.
No Summeros and no Probiuses?
The
Yeah, fair
team
enough.
Probius, yes. The hero Probius, no.
Fair enough.
Which really, I think, is like false advertising on their part. They don't play Probius.
Yeah, no joke, right?
I'll have to take that up with Dragon later.
So I don't know. I mean, this is an interesting draft from both sides. The Anubarak gives me a little bit of concern, just because of the fact that, like, Anoob's got to be careful not to just expose their own backline. So we'll have to see how this goes. Let's get this game started. Dragonshire, and it's game number 3. Mongoose, so nice, saying hi to Valk's mom for everybody. But on the left here, right? On the left here, better than bots. Tied up 1-1. Megan 420 going to be playing the Rainer. Aaron Rab on the Li Ming. Grizzly Pear on the Mal'Ganis. Evil Alto on Lucio. And Crafty Trent on Blaze.
And for Wood Tap that, we got Mongoose on Anubarak, Colonel Pants on Rexar, Pet Wolverine on Chromie, Flims on Probius, and Shadonis on the Anduin.
All right, and we see a little bit of an honor challenge going out into the lane. Into the 1v1, so we'll see how that works out for them. So we'll have to try to occasionally check in on what's going on up here and see how that turns out. The gauntlet has been thrown.
Taunting now allowed in the off lane exclusively.
Right, but only if they 1v1. Oh, son of a gun. I was so busy looking at them. Well, there you go. Chromie getting the kill onto the Mal'Ganis. The big root chastise coming out onto Rainer, and Would Tap that coming out with 2 kills to none. Already under 1 minute in this Dragonshire game.
That's the amount of kills they got the whole first game, I think.
Nope, they had 4. Nice try though.
I'm sorry.
It was close.
My
You're halfway.
apologies, Would Tap that.
We're halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
I couldn't have set that softball up any easier for you.
I appreciate you.
All right, so currently, Colonel Pants trying to finish off the 1v1 duel. The rules have been disrespected. No taunts coming out here. But that being said, it's a good thing Mal'Ganis went up there because it was looking a little sketch for Blaze. Siege Camp picked up on the side of Would Tap that. Let's check back in on our solo here. See what's going on. Leisha v Blaze. Basically just holding the line. Siege Camp is going to get cleared up by this this team here on the left, the Better Than Bots. A very short duration on the channel there for just a moment on Would Tap that. Would Tap that going for the win early, says Corix. Could very well be. Could be. Speaking of going for things early, they get this early Bruiser Camp, and that is extreme value to them here. And they've already got the channel. Now, I mean, in all seriousness, if I would tap that, I would ignore the channel and just push in the bot lane here. You know,
There's a lot going on across the map.
Yeah, they sent Probius up to gather XP up here, and they did get the rotation from Better Than Bots up into the top lane. But this wall already completely gone.
Yeah,
and
Lucio
that's
alone
huge.
can't defend 4 people and a camp.
I can't believe that you would even suggest that Lucio can't defend all of that.
Doesn't boop fast enough for that.
Well, you know what? The beat goes on. He's going to take care of whatever he can here. But back to 4v4 in the bot lane. Misha holding the top control point for Would Tap that. Big sleeps. But no deaths yet. Coming for the Better Than Bots. Li Ming, coupled with the Mal'Ganis, has a lot of potential if they can keep those targets asleep for long enough for those big hits to hit. To land? To hit? Whatever. And once again, the channel has begun here for Would Tap that, putting the bug to sleep. Oh, Blaze. Oh, Blaze recognizes that moment and says, maybe I can't leave just yet. But a big rotation here. Lucio and Li Ming rotating up into the mid to maybe try to get a kill out of this. But that's going to leave, once again, the bottom here open for Would Tap that. Instead, they're going to come up into the middle. They want to fight the good fight and see if they can't get this Dragon Knight. They are going to get the kill onto the Lucio. And if they get onto this point, they gotta channel the thing right now, you guys. Somebody get on it. They are gonna get it because it takes less time to channel than it does to stand on the point to get it to the halfway point. So they do get that. And the first Dragon Knight is gonna go over to wood tap that. So good start for them. As they bring up bot lane, start getting this XP gathered. And they already have the wall down, so they can get right in onto the structure now. And check it out, slowing sands coming in from Chromie. The Beetle diving in, going after the Mal'Ganis. Mal'Ganis almost using Fell Claws into the Dragon's Breath.
The timing of Chromie's ability was just off from Mal'Ganis.
Oh, that would have been an unfortunate whoops. All right, and Anduin getting that last breath out onto the fort. Doesn't really have any health or time left on this. And obviously doesn't want to step too far up. Never mind. Clearly wanted to step forward to throw out that chastise. What am I thinking?
Hey, don't judge Anduin, you know.
Are you suggesting that I should not chastise Anduin?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Seems kind of appropriate.
Not disagreeing.
All right, so Siege Camp once again here picked up by Wood Tap That. The camps have been on point here for Wood Tap That. They've really been pushing these out. Now they're going to rotate up into this Bruiser camp. Both teams really are. And I'm interested to see here. We're going to have level 10s coming up for Wood Tap That. They may be able to get this camp down. And although both teams are going to have these camps, they don't both have heroics.
Better than bots are very close though. They're about to get that right there.
And there it is. Oh, Cocoon going out onto Raynor. So Raynor's 100% isolated here. Only has the Lucio to try to help get him out. And you can see the Beetle there. What happened? That was so fast!
He came out into two of Probius's things, the warpy things.
Like,
Exploded.
I was about to say Mongoose lining up for the stun, but in the time it took for Mongoose to burrow charge in, Raynor
He
was...
wasn't even there for that kill.
Yeah, Raynor was deleted from the game. Like, he just doesn't get to play anymore. Holy cow. And that is an interaction I hadn't really thought of. Like, throw down a Cocoon and then just Probius just deletes the hero. Like, goes into the coding for the game and says, you're gone. And this is an interesting pickup here. So they don't know that Raynor and Lucio are on this siege camp, but it is gonna work out for them, it looks like here. Presumably, anyways. It takes them a little while to get this siege camp or this bruiser camp done. No gate coming out, and the Mal'Ganis caught in the middle of it here. Sound barrier was used to keep Mal'Ganis alive, so no kills. We didn't actually talk about any of these heroics. You know what, Lulu? Why don't you share some of what these heroics are?
So Wood Tap That, they've got the light bomb on Anduin that just went out. Null gate from Probius. Oh, never mind. We gotta fight.
Yep, Carry and Swarm getting interrupted there just barely, and that's going to lead to the death of Mal'Ganis. Nilgate coming out as well, so Chromie taking an orb to the face, having to pull back, because she's got absolutely nothing in the tank at this point. But Burrow Charge coming in, there's Lucio going into the Cocoon, and we see once again Probius setting up this big burst here. And there's a chest. Oh my god, that is so much damage!
It was like 90% of his health immediately.
That is absolutely bonkers. And the timing is just perfect between Probius and Chromie. Like, the two of them are just doing some work. And let's not forget, like, Shadona's had a good chastise in there too. The timing on that, you know, that moves a little bit slower, so that's a little bit harder to time. And that was absolutely just clutch.
Probius and a noob though, it just feels bad, man, if you're on better than bots. Oh my god.
No. Oh my, I didn't even see that. Where did that even happen?
On the bot point, Probius just exploded both of them. Pressure
well,
one was 100-0.
I did just see
Oh my
the
goodness.
Probius taunt. And Probius is a level 100 plus Probius too. That was nuts. I was just looking at Lunar Mistress was saying, "Oh no, Lucio," and I was like, yeah. There's that moment where Probius just obliterated the Lucio, and then go figure, Probius obliterates 2 more heroes.
Yeah,
This is really, this is like the opposite of game number 1. I mean, we've got 8 kills to 0. You know, game number 1 started off 7 to 0, and they just don't have an answer to this combination of Cocoon plus everything, basically.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot different than the first game, where the first one they had really long, drawn-out fights where just Would Tap That couldn't get the kills, and here it's just 100-0, like yeet and delete from Probius.
So it looks like we have a switch with Mal'Ganis going into the top lane and leaving Blaze in the mid here with the rest of the team. That might work. That might give, you know, Mal'Ganis might be able to get in onto the Rexar using Fell Claws or Night Rush to get around to the back. But we'll see. Oh, all right, let's see. So Probius is nowhere nearby. We do have the Slowing Sands. And, okay, so clearly it's 100% Probius. Without the Probius, they can only get a Blaze to half health. But with the Probius, I bet that Blaze dies in 1.2 seconds instead of the 0.6 seconds that it took the other heroes to die. Let's take a look at these builds, though. I'm interested in this Probius build. Let's highlight some of these talents just so we can see. And of course, that Warp Resonance, like, it just makes sense considering how quickly they're obliterating these people. So Blaze coming down. Oh, Blaze turning around. That was the classic, nope. Sound barrier coming out. Blaze had about 9 health there, so that was a really well-timed sound barrier there to make sure that Blaze didn't die. Trying to show the rest of these talents, but we'll come back to that. And there's the null gate on the Siege Giants, but it does prevent a disengage there, although I think Lucio sneaks around it if he tries. Let's check in here up in the top lane. Rexar versus Mal'Ganis. Going about the same as the Rexar and Blaze, so a little bit of a struggle there for the better than bots. Misa chasing, playing a little bit of ring around the rosy with Mal'Ganis up here as the bottom Bruiser camp now going to be picked up by Would Tap That. Looking really strong this game.
Luna says hello.
Aw, kitty cat. B-Train in chat saying, imagine if Blaze had a self-cleanse. Indeed. And here we go once again. So we've got the big 4-man here. Light Bomb going out. A little bit of miscommunication as Blaze going into the cocoon. And because he already had the flame on the oil, getting him out pretty quickly here. Combustion's going to hit Chromie and Anduin, but Anduin doing his best to keep Chromie alive. Chromie just barely going to make it out. So no deaths. A couple of ultimates were used there. Radically Dreaming. Yeah, I don't think Mal'Ganis is beating Rexar top either. I think they need to give up top lane and find value elsewhere. Indeed, like at a certain point, you have to modify your strategy, right? I mean, if you... Oh, look at this. Blaze going to get caught between a beetle and a bear. And
Man versus wild.
They went full Animal Kingdom on that one. But they do pick up the channel, it looks like in the bot lane there. Rexar's heading up to top to gather out that one as well. Level 16 did come up, so we'll pop those up for you. But the retreat ping's being called here from Mal'Ganis. Mal'Ganis, get out of there. There are no camps available really for Would Tap That. Oh, but there's the Light Bomb this time going out. Is going to connect onto the Rainer. Lucio getting put into the cocoon. But that's going to mean that there isn't, because they get the kill on the Rainer, there's not as much to go into the Lucio here. Although Burrow Charge coming in does get the stun onto Mal'Ganis. And Probius heading down now to gather the bottom control point. This should be another Dragonite here for Would Tap That. And surprisingly, as long as this game has gone on almost 15 minutes, only one structure down.
Look, they've been busy setting Probius up for kills.
That's true. That's true. 11 kills to none. They're really like just focusing on those quick 1 kills, 2 kills, and then moving on. And it's very difficult then to fight when you only have, you know, 80% of what your enemy composition has. And pushing in the bot lane after getting that mid fort. All 5 members are available now. Mal'Ganis on his way. Keeping in mind, of course, the Dragon Knight is unstoppable. Can't put that thing to sleep. They're going to get some pretty heavy damage on it, so looks like Dragon's going to put... They get the kill onto the Raider. Probius doing work here, and Lightbomb going out once again. A little bit of anti-synergy there with the Cocoon, but Blaze is coming... Oh, the timing was off on that one. Blaze able to jet propulsion out. And does Colonel... No, okay, never mind. Never mind. I was going to say Colonel Pants. Colonel Pants is the Rexar. Crafty... Nope, Crafty trends to Blaze. Never mind, people.
Grizzly Pear made it out with about 5 health.
Thank you.
Welcome, bud.
There are players in here.
Those are all names in the game.
Now, you know, I gotta say, I questioned the Anubrak at the beginning of this game. That question is gone.
Little did you know what was coming with Probius.
Mongoose has done a fantastic job of setting up these plays for the rest of WoodTap that to, you know, knock it out of the park. And we do have level 20 here available for WoodTap that. So, you know, some of these talents quite interesting. So Mongoose going for Hardened Shield. So getting that massive 75 armor for 4 seconds, turning him into just a huge tank. We got the roots for the Rexar there. Oh no, and there are 3 warp rifts just waiting for somebody to walk in. Come on in, Li Ming, the water's fine. That's what Probius is saying. What else is this? Shoot him up. Hitting a warp rift with disruptive pulse causes 4 additional pulses that deal 50% damage. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be nuts. There's the stun onto the Lucio. Here comes a 4-man light bomb, and they're just cleaning house. Blaze is gonna get a combustion here, but it doesn't matter. He's gonna go down as well. Grizzly Pear getting caught by the Impale, and looks like Mongoose is gonna go ahead and pull back. Holy cow. Do not question the Moonduck, says Zool rules. Indeed. What was I thinking? Now, of course, they do have the Anubarak here, so they've got Beetles to take this bottom keep. 30 seconds until Blaze is up, 20 until Raynor, and 15 until Lucio. And never mind, make it 60 for Li Ming. I think with that kill, they can get this core and get the reverse sweep. Zoltos, I told you from game 1, faith and time travel will win this. Well, you know what? Fair enough. As the core going down, WoodTap that coming back with a vengeance. 16 kills to 1. GG.
Man, that was quite a game.
All right, let's see if we can get Shadonis in here. All right, let's get meet me in lobby 5 in NGS chat. Hey, and it even set it up correctly, so there we go. Oh, hi, Lulu.
Hello. I assumed you were talking to me.
I was talking to you, but I'm also talking to Shadonis, so hopefully... Oh, you know what? I should go back to the stats, because I didn't show all that. So So we're only going to do a couple of questions here because the other teams are pretty well ready to go. Am I on the wrong channel? Oh, go into the casting lobby. There we go. I just moved you over into ours because you went to the casting lobby instead of just a generic one.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
No worries. Hey, welcome. So we're gonna do this in the kind of the lightning round because I've got another cast here waiting on us. So I have to say, first of all, congratulations on that victory. It was absolutely just a mind-boggling turnaround. You guys went from a very challenging game number 1 into a pretty balanced game number 2 into a just mind-blowing game number 3. So congratulations on that. How are you guys feeling after coming back from that?
We're feeling pretty good. We didn't get a whole lot of time to practice because of the whole Thanksgiving and all that, and that's a lot of what we attribute the loss to. But it was, yeah, feels pretty good.
Sure. So you guys had banned out the Mal'Ganis a couple times. They had banned out obviously the ETC, the Anduin, and obviously both of those heroes made it into the third game, getting a little bit of time to shine, so to speak. And I guess not the ETC, but so you guys got some good time with the Urel in game 2, and you know what? Let's just talk about the Probius. What the hell?
So the Probius, he's actually a Probius main. That's actually what we picked him up for. Originally, he was just going to be a sub, but he's learned a number of other heroes, and yeah, he's kind of our ace in the hole.
Well, let me tell you, you guys at some point need to go into the replay file and take a short clip of the Li Ming and Raynor kill that Probius got. Because
absolutely,
I missed it because I didn't expect it to happen, and then just suddenly, boom, people are dead, and I'm like off in somewhere else. So clip that, get that on a video and post it for like Nexus Edge or what have you, because I can only imagine, based on the numerous other setups, you guys coordinated those really well, and especially if you didn't get a whole lot of practice time. So fantastic job, and tell Mongoose I'm sorry for questioning his Anubarak.
Will do.
So, let's give Lulu any questions you'd like to ask of Shadonis here, real quick.
Okay, so how do you pronounce the name? Tlims? T-Lims?
He hasn't corrected me, and I pronounce it Tlems, so I'm assuming that's accurate.
All right, so Tlims, Probius, very scary.
Yes.
No further questions.
All right. Just to throw it out there, I've decided that it's Thames, and I'm just gonna make the L a silent L. So there you go.
I like Thames. That's fun to say.
So last question for you here. What was your favorite moment tonight? It could be something you did, something one of your teammates did, or even something an opponent did.
I gotta say one of my personal favorite moments was I didn't see much of it, so I'm probably gonna phrase it wrong, but I saw a Misha Bear come in, get like a 3-person or 2-person stun, and I just threw a light bomb out somewhere, and it led to a pretty interesting fight. I missed a lot of it because obviously trying to keep the Chromie alive, but yeah, it was a very interesting moment to see all the stuns and all the CC come out and just Probius just bursting the entire enemy team.
Good deal. All right, well, hey, listen, let's wrap this up. Give you the opportunity for any shout-outs you'd like to make.
Very quickly, my team wants me to shout out Misha, because Misha is awesome. Glory to Misha. I want to give a shout-out to my friends who decided to watch this season, who hadn't been watching last season, and are cheering on our wonderful team. Cheer on both the new and veteran players on Would Tap That, which is about 50-50. And yeah, that's basically it.
All right, good deal. Well, thanks so much for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure casting your match tonight, and the VOD will be up for you to check it out tomorrow. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap us up for this game. And we're going to get set up here for the second match here between... Let's see, who is this? Spooky Ghosts and Feigned Competence. So don't go away. We're just going to do a quick change of scene, and we'll be back.